everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. It's opening week in the NFL, and today we have two teams are more than ready to get the season underway. It's the Chiefs going up against the Redskins. With that, let's call in our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis, with this opening week matchup.
All right, Larry, we are due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Today, it's the opener of the 2017 NFL season between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Washington Redskins. Defense really showing respect for the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. They go play action here on first down. It's Hill, complete. And he's brought down. Give him 13 on the pickup there. Good enough for a Kansas City first down.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
On the ground, it's the first carry here for Jamal Charles. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. This is the offense we're going to see coming up in this one, and Travis Kelce will be key.
What a tremendous weapon he is, especially in the red zone. Knows how to find the end zone when running his routes.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now Smith finding time. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. And now a look at the Washington defense.
Josh Norman was not a first-round pick when he entered the NFL, but he always thought he should be. Never lacked for confidence, and now he plays at a Pro Bowl level.
So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. Throwing on third down, Smith. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it.
I think that's a great point because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet.
And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. Into the Redskins. Have it they do.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Cousins now after the fumble recovery. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Their dangerous wide receiver. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Redskins have taken a first quarter lead. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Here's the Redskins now as their kick unit will send this one away. And that'll they'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. On first down, Smith backing up. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Chris Baker, he's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. To throw on second down is Smith, surveying the field. And he's got the hook up for the first time with a veteran, Jeremy Maclin. It's a big play there for the Chiefs, 30 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
On first and 10, Smith. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run the ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And there's a completion to Travis Kelce. I think he's starting to come into his own as a tight end and as a player, and that makes his quarterback, Alex Smith, really happy.
A first down carry here for Charles. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Second down, here's Smith. Looking for Maclin, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bashaud Breeland. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Let's go. Green, 39.
Second down, Cousins going up top. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there. Making quite a splash with his second touchdown at his NFL debut. And the Redskins get the quick strike touchdown. And he atones for his miss the first time around as this one is up and good to extend their lead. Here's the Redskins now as their kick unit will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Jeremy Maclin, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
The good signal callers will never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force it.
And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it, and the Redskins scoop it. And he'll bring it back to about the 5-yard line. And look at Washington as they come onto the field. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
They come out here in the eye. Throwing, Cousins. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Offensive starters time, Charles, for the Washington Redskins.
Let's look at Josh Dotson, the wide receiver out of TCU. Grew up in Fort Worth. His mom works at the university as a vice president. He actually went to Wyoming first, transferred back to TCU, and boy, is he a high flyer. Throw it up in the air, he'll go up and get it.
So they're on the 5-yard line here, second down and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. Here's Jones. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. And 3 yards on the carry there as his defense holds strong and takes it to 4th and goal. So now on 4th down, the Redskins will hand things over to their kicker, Dustin Hopkins. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. And this has no chance. It's no good, well wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is. So a bullet dodge there defensively. They surrender excellent field position on the kick return, but it winds up not costing them a thing.
And that's a tough sequence of events from an offensive perspective. The inability to get first downs leads to the field goal try. And the inability to cash that in leads to nothing on the scoreboard.
Here's Chris Ivory with his first carry. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Really strong, effective run there out of a power set or a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game, and that's tough for a defensive coordinator. They want to spot that lineup coming into the game early so they can get the proper defensive personnel on the field. That's why the coordinator is relying on some of the assistants to tell him what offensive personnel is hitting the field so he can adjust accordingly. They weren't able to stop him on that run.
Second down following the run. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. They come up in an offset eye. On second down, Jamal Charles. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They run with their short yardage man, Ivory. And cuts out right sideline. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. That's a prime example of how tough Chris Ivory can be to bring down.
He's so good that I think that he would last very well in a boxing gym. You know, because he's going to wear you down with those types of runs all game long. If they can't start getting him on the ground quicker and more efficiently, they've got a long game in front of them.
A gain of 3, second down.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Here's Smith. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Another run. This time it's Ivory. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Chris Ivory, a 15-yard touchdown run. And the Chiefs are able to get this back within a touchdown. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
It's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves? That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right, because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, he picks up additional yardage after it.
One man in the backfield. That's Jones. Cousins on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I had a coach tell me a long time ago that running a screen pass is similar to acting 101 for your offense, because you got to show something different and create extra space for linemen to chase the quarterback in order to create extra room for the receiver to catch the football and maneuver upfield. In this case, though, give a lot of credit to the defense. They communicated well. You could hear them talking to each other on the field, and they reacted and knocked it away.
On second down, Cousins again. And Davis has it over the middle. And he's brought down. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
A give to Jones. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
All right, here we go. 3-19. Leopard. Mike, 56, right there, 56.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Cousins to throw it. Out to the left. It's complete to Dodson. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to carry the yardage that they got. but it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds, because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And the offense lining up 1st and 10. The play clock's running down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. So what will they do? On the ground, through the air? Let's see. 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up the defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a 1st down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's a 2nd missed field goal here in this 1st half. He'll have to think about that going forward. Maybe time for a little soul-searching as well.
Yeah, the head coach might be looking towards the heavens because you wonder if this will affect the 4th down decision-making going forward. If you get 4th and 3, 4th and 4, situations that used to be calls for the kicker might get a second thought.
1:58 to go in this 1st half of play. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. On 2nd down, Ivory. And he is going to... And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their 1st, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. $12 yards to go on 3rd down. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. He's got time in the pocket. And this is going to be incomplete. Brandon Coleman was the intended target. And 4th down coming up. Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he's on to punt for the 1st time this afternoon. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there, we've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their 1st, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Washington. Their dangerous wide receiver. Now with his 3rd touchdown in his 1st ever NFL game. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. Here's the Redskins now as their kick unit will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
On first down, it's Smith. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. Kelsey out in the slot right. So the D-line's going to spread out. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Forced out to his left. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They'll look to throw now on first down. They complete it to Hill. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield.
No matter how you evaluate quarterbacks, at some point arm strength is going to come into the conversation. I'm really impressed by what I saw on that throw on the out route.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw here on first down. It's Hill, complete. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
He'll look to throw. Quick slant. That's caught by the veteran Macklin. And he's brought down. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. Quick pass play there on the slant, Charles. Works out well for the offense.
The offense loves it. The defender hates it. Hard to get through the body of the receiver to get to the football trying to cover a slant.
The offense operating inside the 10 at the 8 here. It's 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal. And now they're in the hurry-up. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm...
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Here's Ivory. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal. And no hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. 4th and goal from the 3. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to Orlando where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And, Charles, this is one of those inexcusable special teams penalties, an out-of-bounds kickoff.
Pressure, pressure, pressure. Sometimes errors occur because of situations.
Here's Jones. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Again, it's Jones. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. Well, that was better than the first go-around when he lost yardage, but still nothing there, and that sets up a 3rd and long. Tough spot here.
Put it mildly. Sometimes I wonder if some of that old-school football should come back into play. You know what I would think here? Quick kick. Try and change field position. Help out your team.
On 3rd down, Cousins. It's brought in by Doxson. 18 yards there and a first down.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that 3rd down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
3rd time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on 3rd, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
Jones. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Second down, it's Jones. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And that play was vintage Derek Johnson. Made a play in the backfield. In college, he did as an outside linebacker. Used speed to get to the backfield. Now, a bulked-up inside linebacker with multiple Pro Bowls on his resume.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. And they're going to go soft on the corners. Time running out here on the play clock. Throwing. Cousins. Out to the left. It's complete to Doxson. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. Cousins to throw for it on 4th. Completes it right side to Doxson. It'll be a pickup of 13 on the play, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down.
We always talk about big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. I think that 4th down qualified. That was a heck of a throw.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And now the offense operates in the red zone.
Let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. No. Check. Patriot.
Shift together here from the D-line. Play clock winding down. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on fourth. They come out here in the I. Fourth down, Cousins. And Davis with it left side. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Vernon Davis, his first touchdown in a Washington uniform. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the second extra point he's missed so far. Here's the Redskins now as their kick unit will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. A look at the offense now here coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. Now a play fake here on first down. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. First down and goal. The offense knocking on the door. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead.
And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Jamal Charles taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Chiefs are able to cut into this lead. Good to see Jamal Charles back in the end zone. Of course, he had that ACL tear in Week 5 last year.
I've loved his game since he was at the University of Texas. His ability to hit the home run with his speed, but underrated as a guy who runs between the tackles as well as catches the ball in the backfield. Combined 33 touchdowns the previous 2 seasons before the knee injury. He's back and in a big way.
You know it all. Who says you don't prep with numbers? Nobody.
Got to do a little prep. Got to do some prep.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
It's a safety Ron Parker there to make the tackle.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
On play action, Cousins. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by George Iloka. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punching in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. And they're going to speed things up here. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Second and very short here, less than a yard. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. 2nd down, Cousins. And this one's incomplete. He was trying to get it there to Vernon Davis, the tight end. And it's 3rd and short.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
They come out here in the eye. They needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
Well, they pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with it back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
So they pick up the 1st down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Cousins to throw it this time. And finding Davis here, the tight end. And he's going to be out of bounds down to the 25. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up 1st downs and keeping the football.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give him some breathing room and lets him build up a little cushion.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They complete it to Hill. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Offensively, they like their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a 1st down.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. And some space here. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. And here come the Redskins now. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns. When you got a big guy like that in your backfield who runs as a big man and breaks tackles, it is paramount for a defense to have extra defenders in his vicinity at all times. Because you got to figure he's going to break through the first guy. You're going to need tacklers 2, 3, 4 in order to get him down. Because if you don't, he can continue to run and run it really, really well.
Now Cousins. One man in the backfield, that's Jones. He'll get the football here. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll give it to him right up the gut. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And they're going to go soft on the corners. They're going to hurry back to the line now. He'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. 3rd down and 4. They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete. His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. And it's 4th and 4.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it is incomplete. The Chiefs tried it, but they're turned away on 4th down. And the Redskins will take control of the football in great field position. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
As a guy carrying the ball, your eyes are going to direct your feet, and you're hoping they carry you to the open spaces. But it's awfully difficult at times because you have so many things you have to look out for. Where's the line blocking? Where's the traffic coming from? Tough to find open spots.
They'll go again to Jones. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 2. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. The offense staring at a 3rd and 12 here. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And that will extend their lead even further. And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach.
It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the 4th.
And now here comes Kansas City. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense.
This is intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder, D. Milliner. Then he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So 2nd and medium, 2nd and 5 now. The give is to Jones. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
But he was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down.
Let's go! Green, 39!
On 3rd down, Cousins. And Davis with it left side. They give him 12 yards and a 1st down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
This is Jones, and he's going to get this one down to the 30. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
And, Brandon, it's really no surprise to see them running the ball here. They've got the lead. There's not much time left. They just want to keep the clock moving and seal the win.
They come out here in the eye. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in week 1. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Redskins as we say so long from FedEx Field.